Last time, we talked about Martin's Law, passed by the British Parliament in 1822. It was just the start, and it set the scene for anti-cruelty laws for the next 200 years. Hi, I'm Carly, and welcome back to the Animal Rights Tour. The state of New York passed an anti-cruelty law in 1829, making it an offense to maliciously kill, maim, or wound any horse, ox, or other cattle, or to maliciously and cruelly beat or torture such animals. An English Act of 1839 made bear baiting, cockfighting, and dogfighting illegal in London, and even made it an offense to attend such an event. Private individuals were also getting involved. In England, supported by Richard Martin and William Wilberforce, the SPCA was started in 1824. We know it as the RSPCA from when Queen Victoria gave it her patronage in 1840. Similarly, in the USA, the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the ASPCA, was launched in 1866. Ironically, there was no similar organization for the prevention of cruelty to children. It was nearly 10 years later that the New York SPCC was formed. So things were moving. The state of Massachusetts went further in 1869. Not only did it prohibit inflicting unnecessary cruelty, we've seen that sort of law before, but it recognized that cruelty didn't only come from beating or striking an animal. It could also come from how they are looked after. The law made it an offense to fail to provide proper food, drink, shelter, or protection from the weather. There was one area where cruelty to animals was extreme, and that was in laboratory testing of animals. I won't go into detail, but it was not good. In England, the RSPCA worked to end vivisection. Queen Victoria was opposed to it, referring to it as one of the worst signs of wickedness in human nature. In England in 1876, the Cruelty to Animals Act was passed, known as the Vivisection Act. It didn't end the practice. We still use animals for scientific research today, but it's called animal experimentation or in vivo testing. But it did regulate it. By the start of the 20th century, anti-cruelty laws were increasingly widespread in the UK, Europe, and North America. But the focus was still mostly on cruelty. It wasn't until Ruth Harrison wrote a book in 1964 that the debate changed again. More on Ruth and her work in our next episode of the Animal Rights Tour.